Hello, everyone. I literally can't be all bubbly and be all like, welcome to the review and all that bullshit because we've just been absolutely slaughtered 7-0 by not by West Ham, fuck me, by Liverpool. I'm losing track of teams. First half was all right. It was literally like game plan was going to Thinger. They get an early goal before first half. These things can happen. We go in, and then that second half of football, that's the worst second half of football I think I've ever seen from Manchester United. To concede 6 goals in 38 minutes is unheard of. It's even under Ole. Like, we got beat under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer 4-1, 5-0 at Liverpool, but 7 goals against Liverpool. Especially the run that we're just in as well. Like, I could safely say there wasn't one single fan, even the most deluded Liverpool fan on the planet, would not have thought 7-0 in that game. That's how bad that result is. I don't know where to start with it. You know, United have performances this season have been amazing for the best of parts, but we've had some really horrible performances away from home. You think about Brentford, the watch along me and Sam did for that. You think about Aston Villa, Man City, Arsenal, and now Liverpool here. There is something systematically wrong when the players go behind by a certain amount where their heads just completely go. And we saw that, Sam, I'll go to you first. We saw that with some of the players on the pitch today, man. Fucking hell. Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, what the fuck?
First, like you said, first half, I was like, okay, goal down. It was their only chance on target that they had. Went in, and we looked like we were coming into the game. But there was a couple of moments. Passing let us down at times. Anthony's crossing was abysmal. Weghorst's passing was all over the place. And I was like, right, we need to come out second half. And normally we do. We go out second half. We right the wrongs. Ten Hag sees tactically, okay, change that, sort it. And we came out and put in one of the most abject performances I've ever seen a United team put in. Not under Jose, Louis van Gaal, Ollie, have I seen a second half performance like that from a Man United team. That was unbearably bad. Unbearably bad. I don't have the words in my head to describe how bad that was. It's a fucking disgrace. Like, absolute fucking disgrace, that.
I felt at the time, Dan, when they were, I don't know, the third goal or maybe probably the fourth goal, I was wishing I had a pad in my hand where I could just back out of the game, turn my PS5 off, and just have it dusted off like that and have no more part of it. But for me, again, I don't know if you feel this, the senior players today let me down. Your Casemiros, your Lissandros, all these guys we've been bigging up for most of the season who have transformed this team. Bruno Fernandes, the captain, by the way, he was moaning about not being subbed off and kicking out at people and doing all this kind of shit. Like, it's just not acceptable, is it? Can't hear you.
Your audio's gone.
Everything's just going wrong today.
There you go.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, let me know if it goes off again. This is what never expected. If you asked me before the game that it's gonna be 7-0, I would have put my life on the line because the way we were playing, the form we were in, but the first half looked bit decent. We were playing good, but not getting the shots on the target and not taking up our chance. Because I trusted Ten Hag I trusted that he will change the game in the second half with the tactical changes, which we know that he has the capability of doing that. But it seemed like when the players came on in the second half, they looked like they don't want to play the game, and every player was playing for himself, and it was looking like they're playing together for the first time. And till the second and third goal, it was looking like the Liverpool were getting chances and they are taking their chances. But after that, it seemed like the series of errors that leading to the goals, and it's totally unacceptable. It was even worse what we have seen in times of Ole and Ragnick time. So I don't know whether I still, maybe Ten Hag might have really hit them hard in the half time. So I'm not sure whether the players have taken maybe some communication to their heart or something. I don't know what went wrong in the halftime conversation. So yeah, it's going to be, if it would have been 2-0 or 3-0 could have been acceptable, but
7-0.
Liverpool, yeah, Liverpool in their form, the current form, they were struggling a bit, and we were a bit confident that we can beat them easily because the way they were playing in the recent games.
Your audio's gone again, Dan.
Yeah, they were not up to the mark in the recent games, and now suddenly it's like it has always been the case that whenever a team is struggling in Premier League and they play against us and they just rip us apart, and that's how it is with the today. But 7-0 is totally unacceptable.
Look, I'm not. Before anyone goes, are you only saying it because they think, or you're only saying it because you lost, right? If you look at who we was in for when we was going to buy and we needed a player, we wanted Cody Gakpo. We also wanted Darwin Núñez as well at the start of the season. Didn't go get him. Got beaten to him by Liverpool, obviously, to buy him. And then Ten Hag really wanted Gakpo. Like he identified him. He's like he can fill in there. He can do a role and he can play across all the front line. We end up getting Weghorst on loan from Burnley, who for all these, great assets that he has, he provides a certain work rate for the team. He does an important job, and I get it, and he helps other players around him.
He was shit today, by the way. He was
awful.
Abysmal.
He was awful. Like every time he got it into a decent position where you'd expect like an Ozil or a Fabregas or someone with that delicate touch, a Bergkamp, one of them kind of guys, he's the opposite of that, the complete opposite. And Rashford and other players who were in behind numerous times. It's not just him, by the way. There's loads of other people. But the point I'm making is Manchester United, a team, should not be going to get someone like fucking Weghorst from Burnley. When you look at it in that sense, like he wanted Gakpo, and you don't back a manager, these things can happen. It isn't just. I can hear feedback, by the way, on me. Might be on mic, Dan. If you could just mute it, yeah, cheers. It's just like it's just proper typical Glazeonomics, and I'm not saying we've lost this because of the Glaze. I'm not saying that, but it certainly plays a big part. When you see the difference there, look at how Cody Gakpo performed in that game. He was sensational, and you can see why Ten Hag wanted him. You can see why Ten Hag identified him. Same thing with Darwin Núñez as well. And we are really short in certain areas now. And Marcus Rashford today as well as another player who has been unbelievable for a long time now. The best player in Europe. We've all said it, but he was so quiet tonight. Where was it? He didn't even turn up. The amount of times he had an opportunity as well in the 18-yard box, like just did not turn up.
There was no balls into him at any point. Like every time the Weghorst got the ball, gave it away, got battled off the ball. Anthony's crossing was terrible, so there was nothing getting him into there. The left-hand side was like non-existent at times. I don't know what the fuck Bruno was doing. Like,
he was terrible.
Where was he?
Bruno...
Like, he was not on that left-hand side at any point. There was no overlaps from Shaw. Shaw was fucking awful. Like, just nothing getting down that left-hand side. And then Dalot, I think, was just getting so battered on that right-hand side. He was afraid to go anywhere near forward. So he was just staying back there. And so there was just nothing happening and nothing getting fed through the middle. The midfield was shit. Casemiro was poor, like really poor.
I thought Sandro was poor as well.
Sandro was fucking poor, like, and then Fred, I think out of all the players, probably had the best game, and that's not saying much because.
Well, that tells you everything you need to know.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just there was nothing getting service to Rashford, but at the same time, he then needs to get involved in the game. He needs to start pushing out left, grabbing hold of the ball, doing something, and he wasn't. And it's just, I don't understand how we went from that first half where we were below par, but we weren't out of it. Like, we weren't out of the game by any means. We had some good moments. And then we came out of the second half and did that. What happened? Like, literally, what? I don't get it.
I think, obviously, the timing of the goals, the first half isn't great. They're scoring like the 43rd. A big blow before half-time. Yeah. You go into the second one. What did he score within the first couple of minutes?
2 minutes, 3 minutes.
It reminded me of the is it the Leicester game where we there was a certain game that we had and we scored right before our time and then we scored when the half resumed as well. Yeah. I think it might have been Fred who got the goal or someone. And the timing of the goals that takes the wind out of you, and then plus the atmosphere, the hot cauldron it is at Anfield, which can get on top of any player. And certain players just losing their head just really didn't help. Bruno Fernandes there's so many, like, you could go back through that game right now and there would have been 20 to 30 incidents in that where you screaming at the TV and going, Bruno, what are you doing, mate? On the ball, off the ball, everything is what you didn't want from a captain today. It was a terrible performance.
Shaw lost his head. Like, literally, I think 10 minutes into that second half, his fucking head went. And he was doing stupid shit consistently. Like, consistently doing stupid shit.
And I get it because, you know, like, we're fans, we're passionate, we're screaming at the TV, we're pissed off. I understand it. But when you're on the pitch, you know, you conduct yourself a certain way to help your teammates. Other players are going to be looking at them thinking, well, the captain's losing his head. He's lost his head about 5 or 6 times.
Senior player.
He was asking to get subbed off.
Luke Shaw, senior player, has been there for, what, 7 years? Senior player. And if, like, somebody like Garnacho or Anthony is looking at him and it's like, if he's losing his shit and the captain's losing his shit, Varane, I don't know what happened to him in the second half as well.
The first goal for Varane and Fred.
Their fault.
Varane and Fred.
And I'm like,
shocking.
I don't know what happened to him.
And Dalot.
And then, after that, even Lissandro, who normally grabs by the scruff of the neck and is, like, important and will play well, his fucking head went as well. Like, his head completely just fucking fell off. And I was just like, if the whole back line is falling apart and the captain's falling apart, you ain't winning. Like, it's not happening. It's just not happening.
The worrying thing for me, Dan, is I've seen this too many times now within, people might call it a long time frame, but what feels like for me a small time frame within the past year or two, where we've been on the back end of some fucking really big defeats, like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0. What do you believe that's down to? What is it that's you know, because we've been on such a good run. Last time we lost once since the World Cup, and that was Arsenal at the Emirates, where we showed a really good defense and they scored in the last minute. Apart from that, we've been near perfection against a lot of teams. So, what can you put your finger on what it is that why we have these performances like this sometimes? Is it individual personnel? Is it like, I don't know?
I think the whole team as a whole team is has to be put on the fault at this point, because it's something really very it's like a Bermuda Triangle. You don't know what the actual reasons are of this downfall, and suddenly when you are winning so many games continuously and also putting up performances, or even though we have drew a couple of games, but we have shown the right spirit of coming back even we are 2-0 down in some games, and we have shown that we still can perform at a high level even if we are down in the score line. But this day it seems like the team is not even willing to come back, and each and every player is like he is not looking at we are not looking at any other players and how they are performing or not. They're not responding to other players. Even the passes, we have seen that the passes are not going to the right places, and the players making tackles which were not even you can see that aggressiveness was there, but that aggressiveness was so negative that I was just thinking like it should not end up with a red card, because it may affect us in the next coming games also, because you've seen that players like Luke Shaw, and as you also mentioned about the Bruno Fernandes, and players like even Casemiro and Lisandro Martinez, they were putting up fouls that were unnecessary and that could even led to a red card. But seemed like that mentality has totally changed. I'm not sure what exactly is the reason for that, because it's totally difficult to find out what the reason is, because of the form we were in and winning so many games. And coming back to what we were discussing about the lineup also, and I totally didn't understand, and you may I'm not sure whether you have heard me a couple of times saying that I'm not a fan of players playing in different positions. I mean playing out of position, especially when it comes to you see Vego starting on the number 10. To be honest, I'm not a fan of that playing him in that position, because when you have a player in Bruno Fernandes who is a specialist in that role, why not playing him on that position? And when you have players like Sancho and Garnacho sitting on the bench with who are the real wingers, and you are playing Bruno Fernandes, if he is playing on the right, then you can understand. But I think today he started on the left, which was from nowhere. It came up in the formation, and that's why I never liked this idea of playing the players out of position, and especially with Weghorst. I know that he has put up a couple of good performances playing on the number 10, but I'm really not a fan of that playing him in that position. But to be honest, I'm still confused, like what went wrong in today's performance to put up like to point on a particular position, particular thing to say that went wrong. But the whole team, not a single player looked like he's wanting to play football today.
Yeah, it was abysmal, absolutely abysmal. I mean, it didn't help how clinical Liverpool was. I think they had 8 shots and 7 were on target, and 7 obviously were the goals that they scored as well. And just a few comments I want to read out because there's a couple of people in the chat, so I appreciate you joining at such difficult times. Believe me, I had to turn the watch along off at 6-0 because I was like, I can't sit here and just bear this anymore. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. So thank you for tuning in. Brandon saying, I've never seen a worse team than United today. Actually makes me never want to watch football again. Aaron Diaz saying, what the hell was that? That trophy really got to their head. FIFA Vidor, I'm from Brazil. I need to see Eric Ten Hag talking in the press room. I'm sure he's going to have some interesting quotes. We'll read them out if we get any that come out. Keep your eye on them if you can, lads. Shrinde is saying, this is disgusting for Manchester United. As much as I hate Liverpool's this time, I really felt we were still at last season, basically, under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Dave from the channel's in. That was never a 7-0. Every shot on target they scored, which is such a nuts game. Felt like everything went Liverpool's way. All the bounces, all the half chances in the corners, etc. And then Danish Iqbal, the last one I'll read out. Conceding 7 is not all justified and it's shameful, but conceding 7 in 1 means 3 points dropped and not in 3 games, which would have been 9 points dropped. I get there's a certain perspective to the game. It's 3 points dropped. It's the effect it has on the players long term after this. Like, they've just been absolutely battered. That's the worst defeat since 1931. Yeah. We're talking almost 100 years. It's unheard of for United to lose like that at Anfield.
Especially after the performances we've put in recently. And in second halves when we've been down or we've played badly in the first half. We've been made a living on coming back in the second half, playing better, tweaking tactical changes and making things right and winning games in ways. We did the complete opposite in this one. Played okay in the first half and we're still in the game, and then the second half completely shit the bed. Like, just completely capitulated, gave up, heads went, and that was it. And it was game over by like 3. I think 3-0 I said in the chat. I was like, it's game over, it's done. Like, it's over. Because I saw nothing in any of the players, any of the performances. There was no effort, trying, everything was just going tits up. So I saw nothing. So at 3-0 I was like, it's game over, it's done. And then to concede another 4 after that is unacceptable. Like, just unacceptable.
Yeah, to be honest, with the way we were coming back from conceding goals in the last some games, and whenever we are considered, we have come back into the game, and that confidence was there still until we went 3-0 down. I was even still in the group. I was saying that still we can come back from this. We need one more goal, because I've seen that happening with us, but today was a different day. And the moment I saw McTominay in the touchline, I was like, no, we are not winning this one, because the only changes I wanted to see was Fred going out and Sabitzer coming in, and maybe Sancho coming in, and with Anthony going out, because Anthony was he was not even able to give a pass or put a cross in, and I wanted him to be changed with Sancho or Garnacho and play a proper 4-3-3 with playing players on the proper positions, and that's where I had the confidence. But when I saw McTominay coming in, then I had to put my weapons down and say that no, it's really hard to come back from this one. And then finishing 7-0, it's like a nightmare for us.
That's like you're getting pelted from rubber bullets, and you look to the side and there's a water gun on the side. That's the equivalent to bringing McTominay on into that, like the way it was going at the minute. I was just looking at the away fixtures we've had. I mentioned them before. Man City, we got beat 6-0. Yeah. Aston Villa, we got beat, I think it was 3-1. Brentford, we got beat 4-0. I know we got beat at Arsenal, but that performance weren't too bad.
But we still lost. We still lost.
Yeah, we lost. But I'm saying, like, yeah, to be fair, we conceded 3. That's 20 goals or 23 goals in like 4 or 5 games away from home. There is a certain trigger that happens when we concede 2 or more away where they just lose their heads. And I can't put my finger out to it. It's unacceptable. It can't happen, because there's only so many of these defeats you can have before it starts really having a big imprint on you as a team, because they're just going to talk about it now. Every time we go away and play a big team, they're going to say, well, you lost 7-0 to Liverpool, they lost 6-2 to City. They get battered.
It happened to Ollie, didn't it? Like, as soon as he had that, was it a Watford defeat? When that happened, you were like, this isn't good. like this is not good. And then the Liverpool game happened, didn't it? Or was the Liverpool game first?
Before it.
Yeah,
Was before it,
so Liverpool game happened. You're like, you can't lose to Liverpool that amount. You can't lose to Liverpool that amount. And then the Watford game happened, and you're like, okay, this team has been dented in confidence. This team's been affected, and we've lost, like you just said, we've lost quite a lot of big margins in away games. Brentford, City, etc. Like we've lost a lot of away games, and that might undo all of Ten Hag's good work at the minute. Like we've had a great run, won a cup. Got far in the Europa League, beats Barca, we're through to the next round in the FA Cup. Losses like this, wheels might start to come off this now. This might be the moment where wheels start falling off.
Well, the thing is, we've been looking at this run. I'm trying my best. I'm really, really trying my best not to be too reactionary and too annoyed and not really go off the boil, because I think all the work that Erik Ten Hag has done has been unbelievable, and everybody's been singing his praises for. Look, he got a couple of decisions wrong today. Absolutely. I think the first 40 minutes was spot on, but there were certain decisions he made. When we came out in the second half, it just didn't look like nothing was affected. And it's weird because we're so used to Ten Hag saying, like, doing something in game management and changing it. And it working, and it just nothing happened today. So everyone from the players to the coaches to the managers got to have a long look at himself after this. They've got to look at the run that we've just had, the amount of games that we've played. And one of the frustrations with Ajax fans when Ten Hag was there was he never rotated. He honestly never ever rotated hardly. And as much as we could say that's great, mentality, we've got great mentality, we're robust players, you keep going, you don't moan about the fixture list. That's great. But we can't sit here and pretend that we haven't had discussions on this channel before where we've said we're going to hit a certain point here when the players are going to get really fatigued. We're going to pick up a couple of injuries. I thought at the start of the game, we saw Casemiro rolled in the back of his leg.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't do this.
Rashford hit the advertising holding. And he was down
Marcus Rashford, like, they look tired. They look really tired. And we're only, 24 games in the league so far? 25 games, I think. We've got 13 games in the league. We've still got a Europa League campaign in around 16. We've still got FA Cup quarterfinals. Yeah. Like, we've got a lot of fucking games to play. And this is going to really, really start taking its toll.
We've had a World Cup in the middle of all that shit as well, where most of, if not all of our players went to it. Like, every single one of them. And they went deep as well. Portugal, England, etc. They all went deep in that World Cup. So it's worrying. And we did say the wheels were going to fall off at some point. Especially I was expecting injuries more and fatigue, like you said, but that's worrying. That half was worrying. I can't. I haven't got any excuses. Like, I haven't.
Listen, there's none at all whatsoever. Every single player was bad. There's not like a dodgy decision or that. It was literally he just got plastered. Yeah. And they weren't a mate. I don't.
They were clinical. They were just clinical.
Yeah, like I don't think it's 7-0. It was like, oh, that's how good they were. I just think when they got the opportunity to take him, and Dan, how many times did we have it in near like the 18-yard box, and you're like, just fucking finish, or there was either offside, or they misplaced a pass, or it was Anthony on the right hand side misplacing a cross, Vegas not playing it through in behind. Like, I was getting so fucking frustrated with that attack because I was like, it's there. If you go get a goal in the first half, that game is completely different.
Yeah. I mean, even if we were 3-0 down, we just needed a one goal just to build up that confidence back into the team, and just we could have taken that from from there. And then we have lost so many chances, and we actually created more than 9 or 10 chances. And at the same time, Liverpool also created those chances, and they have just taken up their chances, and they were more clinical, and that's where our problem is, and where we have not been so clinical in scoring goals. Apart from Rashford, in the recent games, only Rashford has been more clinical, but the other players are just on and off in their form when it comes to scoring the goals. And who else is there for us whom we can trust that whenever we get a chance, will score a goal? Apart from Rashford, I don't think we can be confident on any other player, and that's how it is. But if you can see in the Liverpool's team, there are so many players who can be dependent on when the chances is created, they will score the goals. I know that Nunez has been missing a lot of chances, but we know that the player is there in him, and that player has turned up today. And Gakpo and Salah. Salah has always been so dangerous against us, and he has, for the last 5 games, he has scored against us. And it's all about chances. If we would have taken our chances in the first half, then this could have been a lot of a different game in the second half. And that comes down to the mentality which was lost. And just to be a slightly on United side, I was just checking the stats, and I was just checking Rashford's stats before the games, and I could see that after 22nd December, Rashford has played 20 games. So
Yeah.
it's like within 2 months we have played 20 games, and it's like one game in 3 days. So I'm not sure whether it has anything to do with the fatigue in it, but because you know that Liverpool will make you run a lot in that game. But then again, more than the physical thing, I think that today's performance was down to the mentality factor.
I've got
Well,
I've got some quotes from Ten Hag once you've done that.
I was just about to think, was it about the second half where he's saying it's unprofessional?
Yeah, and he
That's
also
the one I was
there's
thinking.
there's
Go
another
on, go for it.
yeah. So like the second half one you just spoke of, second half was unprofessional. It can't happen, and we have to talk about it. It was the whole team. I saw 11 individuals lose their heads. That is not United. We have higher standards. And he says this is not the Manchester United of last week. A determined team with self-affliction. I didn't see it in the back today. Yeah, Ten Hag. And he has said we will bounce back. We have to reset. We've bounced back many times before. We will bounce back. Roy Keane, Fernandes' body language was disgraceful. Agreed.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Ten Hag, we let the fans down. That's what makes me most annoyed. It was not about one or two players. It was the whole team. I saw 11 individual. I've just read that one. Never mind. Second half is unprofessional. You can lose a game, but not in this way. Roy Keane said, I think I'd go missing for a few months to certain senior players in Manchester United. Sure, it's not going to be easy watching this back, but Ten Hag is going to make us watch it back and show us what we need to learn from this embarrassment. Say what you want about Shaw. He is always honest in post-match interviews. I feel embarrassed for the fans and the people watching for us. I can only apologise. It's hard to explain. I think the standards where we have been at, it was nowhere near it. So yeah, it's Luke Shaw had a really poor game. Roy Keane, just the same shit.
United players would be trembling now just by thinking that how many kilometers they have to run tomorrow.
Run a marathon. Run a fucking marathon after that.
About to say, if you think after that Brentford game they covered the distance that they missed, I don't know what Ten Hag's going to do now. It's going to be some medieval kind of treatment because these players need a rollicking. They really, really do after that performance. Fawaz Ahmed is in the chat. He's saying so shambolic. Vincent Bullock saying we was poor, shocking and shit today to lose 7-0 to them. It's like losing your girlfriend to another man. Very bad. Yeah, I think we can resonate with the pain. Aaron Gregory today just shows there's still work to be done. We're on the right path, but going to be more bumps in the road until Ten Hag gets the right squad with the right mentality. But we're definitely on our way. And I agree with that. Like I said, I don't want to be too reactionary. But it's not the fact that I believe we can bounce back. I don't know who's the next game we've got is it in
Real Betis in the Europa
Real
League.
Betis. So that I believe that we'll be fine when we play that game. It's at Old Trafford. I think we'll be all right. It's the next big away game. I know we've already played Arsenal. We've played City at the Etihad. We've now played Liverpool at Anfield. Is it Spurs away that we've got? I think, or maybe
Southampton.
Southampton. No, I mean like out of the big teams or whatever
Got
you want to call
Chelsea
them.
as well, haven't we?
Chelsea.
Yeah.
But it was at the bridge. It's when it's at Old Trafford, Chelsea, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Okay.
So it's not too bad. So in fairness, I don't think we have any other like kind of big teams left in an away game, but it's the long-term thing that has an effect on the players because they've been on the receiving end too many times of these absolute beatings, and it's just like a trigger in the back of red now. As soon as they go 2 down, they're just going to think, oh, it's going to be another battering. Oh, it's going to be another thing. So I expect Ten Hag now at least. We've been questioning rotation at times. I expect him to fucking do some rotation. Like, I know it's hard because we've not fucking got anyone, have we?
Who do we rotate?
Maybe bring in a Sabitzer, maybe bring in, I don't know, like an Elanga, or I don't know.
Who do we drop though? Like, Bruno is your captain. He's not getting dropped, is he? Like, he's staying.
No, he's not.
So it's Fred or Casemiro. Casemiro's probably not going to be dropped. So Fred gets dropped. So that's still 2 of the midfielders there that have played in this game. So that's only one player. Defense-wise, do you want to rotate Lissandro and Varane for Maguire and Lindelof? I don't.
But sometimes players just need drop it. They just need dropping. You know what I mean?
Wan-Bissaka for Dallo, definitely. I thought this should have been Wan-Bissaka's game from the start. But hindsight's 20.
Well, if you look at the first goal, Sam, sorry, just on that, where he chases Robertson into midfield, you've seen a very similar thing with St. Maximum in the final, where he drags it infield, Wan-Bissaka nicks it off him, and we go up the other end. Dallo's too passive. He's following his man. He's just kind of like that. He's not getting anywhere near him, and then bang. 1-0 down.
But yeah, Wan-Bissaka could come in. I could well see Malacia coming in because Shaw's performance was disgraceful, like absolutely disgraceful. The forward line worries me because like you're relying on Garnacho, Sancho, who's not been at his best, like to be honest with you. And then striker wise, we haven't got anyone. There's nobody to swap out. Like it's Rashford or Vegas. That's it. That's all you got.
And the striker we bought, we are playing him as number 10.
Yeah, like that's all you've got. Like Martial's legs are made of biscuits. He's not coming back. So it's just like, what do you do? Like you can't rotate. There is nobody to rotate with.
Do you know what? I was just thinking, Shreyas, I was watching UFC last night, and obviously in India, you guys are 6 hours ahead, aren't you? So I think he was awake and he got up at 8 in the morning, and he sent me a De Gea like GIF and said he's going to put in a worldly performance tonight. And I'm just reading a Roy Keane quote back now.
Went well, that.
Yeah.
Sure
And it says, De Gea was getting presentations last week. I wonder if he gets a presentation tonight, letting in 7 goals like that. Disgraceful.
Yeah,
that's what Roy Keane said about De Gea.
He also said the experienced players were the ones who let the club down today. So yeah, I agree. Yeah. And then there's a picture of Varane screaming at United players to go to the away fans.
Yeah, I saw that.
I mean, I don't blame them for not going over there because fuck me, they're gonna get some abuse when they go over there. Jesus Christ, well deserved, but yeah.
Yeah, it just depends what kind of abuse on it, but absolutely, it's warranted. Just 1 second, we're going to quickly switch this over.
Yeah.
Just give me a minute. Everything's just fucking sake. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah, me lights decided to go off at the bat. It's happened 3 times now. I'm pissed off. I'm not picking it up. Can't believe it.
Yeah,
Let's just do the player ratings, please, lads. If we can try. I don't know how this is going to go. This is going to be a world record.
No one's getting a C. No one's getting a C.
No. David De Gea is letting.
That's going to be very easy. F.
Yeah, pretty much. Maybe someone might save himself with a bit of I don't know, but David De Gea is letting 7 goals.
E.
Yeah.
Like he did nothing else during that game because like they said, they only had 8 shots and they scored 7. So it's literally but his defense have let him down every single time there, like every single time. So in a way, I don't blame him for what happened because his defense let him down. But again, as a goalkeeper, if you concede 7, it's not a good fucking day.
Yeah, I was thinking about the goals, like Salah's goal on his right foot where he goes barring in. There was nothing any keeper on the planet could have done about that. Gakpo's chip was a great finish. I know a couple of people were putting in the chat, maybe he could have got his hands to it, but I just think it's a great finish. The other ones are like headers and then shots across the thing. It's hard to say that we could have made a world class save at any point. So yeah, look, he's conceded 7 goals at the end of the day. You can't give him anything above a fucking E. Dalot, fucking hell. He was terrible as well. Sorry, Dan. Did you agree with David De Gea with an E? Are you okay with that? Yeah.
Today I'm going to agree with everything what you say.
Oh yeah. It's tears of pain. Let me assure you. Diego Dalot. I don't know. He just
E plus. I don't like that fucking. He was
terrible.
Yeah, he was shit.
Whenever you rate players, you see a player in your team just to compare them with them so that you can rate them. But today we don't have any player to compare with.
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, well, actually, he had a good game. Or to be fair, he was up against 6 maximum. No, just everybody was dog shit, like complete shit. I want to pull up some of the stats because that's the only way I can kind of differentiate from how fucking certain players did. But Diego Dalot, I'm just
give an E. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah. Then we move on to the centre backs, who I thought it's one of the worst games I've seen for Varane and Alessandro. Really, really was. Yeah. Like, I would go in worse on them than I would De Gea and Dalot.
Yeah.
I'm trying because I don't want to bring favouritism in because I love Varane and we all love both of them, Alessandro. But them two today, Varane for a couple of goals, but I don't know what's up with his legs. It was like he was on puppet strings. He was just like going about everywhere. He just had no balance about him whatsoever.
I think
terrible.
I think they get an E minus. I think Shaw. Shaw was the worst of the lot of them though.
But I thought Shaw was good in the first half, mate. No. First 40 minutes, I thought he was proactive, aggressive. If you watch that first half back, I employ anyone to go watch it. He was good in the first half. The second half,
they're not what he did in the second half. Like, he more than like disgraced that first half performance, that second half performance. Like, he was shocking.
I'm going to give it Varane, Lissandro, and Shaw an F. Maybe an F minus for sure.
Yeah. I'm all right with that.
But only one good thing from Shaw was his one cross that just picked up Rashford, and his shot was.
That was in the first half, wasn't it? As well.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, his delivery was quite good. He set up a goal as well. Casemiro scored, but obviously he was offside. So I thought he was really good in the first half. I just thought second half it kind of cancelled it out because it was absolutely dog shit. It was bollocks. So an F for Varane and Lissandro, and then Shaw an F minus because purely for that second half was awful. Fred, I mean,
D minus because he was the best of a really shit game. He was the only one where I was like, okay, at least he's trying something, but he didn't do anything, and he was at fault for the first goal as well because he slipped. He was like, he turned and slipped. So I'd go
F plus.
I go E plus or D minus for me, but I'll let you guys pick. Let you go.
Dan, what do you want to go for, mate?
I think we can go for D minus. Yeah, because the thing is, he has played his normal game, so it's just other players' standards have come down. So Fred is looking a bit higher than the other.
Yeah.
So D minus. Yeah.
Is it safe to say Fred's getting a fucking man of the match with a D minus?
I don't think we could give it to a United player.
No, we can't, can we? We actually can't. That'd be a liberty. So no man of the match for you guys today at all. Casemiro,
shocking.
He's going in the same bracket as Lissandro and Varane for me. Wasn't great. It's the way he started the game as well. It was so slow and sloppy.
He was all over the place.
Exactly.
And I thought, maybe he might have a bit of an injury. Maybe it's a bit excused or whatever. But oh my god,
in couple of cases, he just when the ball was in the midfield and in the start in the middle of the pitch, and he went to press, and then he was bypassed, and then he didn't track back in the way that he should have been, and he was just jogging back, and the other players were just running out of their energy and to track back. But Casemiro was jogging. I've seen this couple of times in the initial stage when he came into United in the starting 4-5 games, that he was not tracking back that fast as he should be, and that was seen in today's game as well.
Yeah, 62% pass accuracy, Casemiro today.
That's shocking for him. For him, what is he like now? The 80s, 90s?
Unbelievable. 62% passing accuracy. Oh my word. So are we giving Casemiro an F?
I don't know because fucking struggling here.
Let us know. Guys who are watching, please do let us know. And I'd say like the video, but I understand if you don't want it. I completely understand it.
Maybe an E minus?
Yeah, E minus I'll go with.
Okay.
A couple of comments. Aaron Gregory, we don't have the luxury of rotation. Who do we turn to? Agreed. Danish Iqbal, whatever we lose, I just remember my expectation was before the start of the season, we're currently third. Every cloud, I suppose. Aaron Gregory, I'll save you time on player ratings. Not applicable for all of them because they didn't even warrant a rating. Yeah, fair enough. Shoestring Budget Podcast, absolutely heartbreaking. I agreed. Aaron, kicking Nunes in the face lifts Shaw's rating up a bit, I suppose. And then Shoestring Budget Podcast, head up, real Reds, shit result, awful game. It's not overthink it. Yeah, it is. We're trying not to be reactionary. We're trying not to throw everybody under the bus, but it's very, very hard to not do that in a minute. So
then keep that in mind when we go to the next rating. Bruno Fernandes, F minus for me. He's in the same bracket as Shaw.
Shit. Awful.
Terrible.
One of the worst games I've ever seen Bruno Fernandes play. One of the worst games.
And it's the captain as well, don't forget. Sorry, Dan.
Is there a G in the grade?
There's a U. There's a U, unclassified.
If you want to give him a U, you're more than welcome to.
We have I don't know if it's the same in India, Dan, but like on our GCSEs, it was A star down to F, and then there's a U if you didn't even bother to fill out your name on the thing. So it just didn't get, it was unclassified. It didn't even get counted.
Listen, my cousin had 5% attendance in school, and even he didn't get a U. He got an F in his exams. So Bruno Fernandes, if you get a U today, mate, it's just don't even turn up. We would have been better without you.
Yeah, play with 10 men. Fuck it.
Yeah, we actually would have, because everything he did, I was just watching him thinking, mate, we're 3-0 down or 4-0 down. Why are you moaning about? First of all, why are you punching the linesman?
Yeah.
And second of all, why are you just moaning about certain decisions that's just not beneficial to the team whatsoever? We're 4-0 down, mate. Like, what's going on?
Do you remember when Canate was running away from him and he pushed his He pushed his hand away, like, and into judo session, and then he went down holding his face. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Why? And then he's asking to be substituted as well. Like, that
bit. That was like, why are you not taking me off? Why not? Because you're the captain, mate. You're supposed to be dragging these people together. That's why he's not taking you off.
Yeah, F-. He's fucking shit today.
F-. I would have given you, but yeah.
He showed up. Yeah, he can't get a U because he showed up.
Yeah, he played minutes. Anthony, Jesus Christ, it's just getting worse and worse, isn't it? F. 0 out of 5 crosses from Anthony. 0 dribble past. I'm just having a look at a couple of others. Dribble attempts, 5 dribble attempts, 0. 5 crosses attempted, 0. That tells you everything you need to know about Anthony's game. Work rate off the ball, great. But apart from that, I don't know. He's in the same bracket as Bruno for me.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah, shit.
Agreed, Dan? Yeah?
Yeah.
We're getting there, lads.
Dad don't even want to say anymore. Dad's just like, I don't care. I really don't care. Oh.
Legos.
F. Fucking F. Like, take him to the fucking glue factory for that performance. The fucking horse, like, absolute. Take him out and shoot him. Like, you know, the horse has gone lame with a leg and he can't race anymore. And they're like, right, we have to put him down.
Wow.
Wow. Awful.
Don't know why Weghorst just reminded me of Maguire. Seems like it looked like Maguire is playing as a
against Sociedad when he went up top.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He's got no agility. He's like a 10 bus. He turns like that, like when he's got the ball, and it's just you need fluid. You know what I mean? Fluidity, little eye of the needle passes.
Can you look up his aerial duels? Because it must be none out of like 5
in that specific game.
Yeah, because he was fucking. He didn't win a single header. Every fucking header, he was just like
0.
Yeah,
0.
What's the?
It's not even tracked in their stats.
He's 6'6", man. Like, come on, win one. Like, Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I'm just putting them.
Aaron Gregory, the horse, fell at every hurdle today. Didn't even make it out the gate. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So are we going with F?
Yeah.
For forgetful.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of them are thinking. And then Marcus Rashford.
E.
Did he play?
E because he was one of the least of the worst of the forwards. I think. Which it's just not. Why am I defending these people? What am I doing?
I mean, he had certain moments where he did Rashford things where he'd get him behind and he'd get onto it. But it was the finishing.
Yeah.
And it was the decision making at times that just wasn't on it. It seemed like a perfect cocktail for everything to fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, it's usually in a game, you have certain set things like, oh, well, he's not played bad and you can cover for that. You bring on a sub, you change it. No. Rashford was bad. Weghorst passing bad. Anthony's crossing was bad. Diego Dallo's anticipation was bad.
Fucking shocking.
Bruno's leadership was bad. Casemiro's passing was bad. Like, you can go through the full fucking team and just list off every single thing that players were shit at. So Rashford, I think I would probably care to agree with an E. So that's just behind Fred for man of the match. Well, not man of the match, but best player with a D minus. Dear me. I'm not even going to discuss the substitutions because, I don't know. No idea.
Like, Scott McTominay almost getting sent off for.
Yeah, what do you expect a player to do when you're 4-0 down? Yeah. And it's just like
exactly.
That's what I mean.
I felt bad for Garnacho as well.
We're getting battered in this war, but there's a water going on the side. Yeah. Go get that and just see what you can do with that.
And then poor Garnacho being brought on to try and do something at 4-0.
Exactly.
Like, what? I don't know what you expect him to do. Like, there was nothing he was going to do. Like, yeah. I don't.
Yeah, the in the bench there are only 2 or 3 players who are the attackers and can has the ability to change the game, and when you bring on McTominay when you need to score a goal, at least one, or a complementary goal, and you just bring in McTominay in place of Fred, it just kills off all the confidence that you have in the team. And I was still having hope when we were 3-0 down and just saw McTominay coming on, and I was expecting Sabitzer to come on the pitch sooner. Even I was expecting him to come on maybe at the halftime as well, just to give more creativity from the midfield side, because we were lacking that creativity. The passing was not going well for the team, and then yeah, then you see that when we are 5-6 nil down, and then you bring on Sabitzer in the pitch, and you what you expect from him in that very moment. It could have been when you are 5-6 nil down and you want to defend a little more, then you can bring on McTominay. But when you are 3-0 down and you want to score a goal, and you keep your players like Jadon Sancho and Sabitzer on the bench, that's like it's a bit of I'm unable to understand that theory. And then I just want to encounter the short passes, the era that we are going in these days. And do you have the number of the coach who just trained them for this dead ball scenarios? And I don't think
Eric Ramsey, are you referring to?
By the way, if I see another short corner, I'm gonna strangle somebody. I'll strangle somebody.
It didn't make sense because we scored. I was looking at the West Ham game. As soon as we put it in on the keeper, we got a goal back.
Yeah,
we scored.
Yeah,
exactly.
Go on, Dan.
You mean like you labor the whole game just to make that situation or a scenario where you can put a ball inside inside the penalty box, and then you get a chance through a corner to put that ball inside, and then you make it more complicated by giving a pass, and then again try to give a cross. So that doesn't make sense, and we are doing this continuously, like 9 out of 10 times we are doing the same things, and we are ending up with nothing. And then that one chance we took up in the last game, and that ended up inside the goal, and then it's totally under.
Sorry, cut out. Your audio cut out a little bit then.
I think he's frozen.
It's all right. We're going to wrap it up there in a bit. I'm just looking at Liverpool's next. Have you seen Liverpool's next 6 fixtures then on the screen?
What have they got?
Madrid, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and then Leeds.
Fucking hell.
Fuck me. So they needed to win that today, otherwise it was thinking. But yeah, look, we'll wrap it up there. We don't need to waffle on anymore. We've discussed everything we needed to. United have been bashed 7-0 by the Scousers, unfortunately. But we move on to the next stuff. Plenty of content coming your way. Give us a subscribe if you want to. Smash a like on the video if you want to. Again, it's I understand. And yeah, I suppose we'll see you in the next one, guys. Thank you for Dan for coming on, who's currently frozen, and likewise yourself, Sam.
Yeah, no worries. Follow us on socials, please. The links are all in the description and stuff. Yeah, apologise that we can't bring you something more cheery at this moment, but I'm sure you're all feeling the same way we are. So yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. See you in a bit, guys.
So yeah.